Hello and welcome to LAKERLAND, where you hear some thoughts from some Laker fans. I am Christian, alongside of me, my left-hand man, Matt. What it do?
What's good? What's good? We here.
I realize every time, I always catch and post that every time I point to you, it looks good right now, but as soon as I actually edit the video, I'm pointing the wrong way.
The
So
wrong
now,
direction. I never
yeah,
do.
so now I think I'm pointing to you now. Who knows, bro? It is what it is. Today, though, today, right now, this is going to be a fun little video. You know, we usually dive headfirst into any Lakers topics, and we might have a topic or two to dive into. But it feels good that there's no drama going around, at least in the city of Los Angeles. Maybe not Los Angeles. I can't say that because I don't know what's going on with the Clippers right now. No
No,
drama.
on the other side.
Yeah, no drama on the real side of Los Angeles, the Laker side, the Lakerland. But there is some drama in Houston, Texas. And we are going to break it down thoroughly, unlike how anybody's going to break it down to you, because this has been the most fascinating story that we have gotten in a very long time, and it's not being talked about enough, man.
Facts.
So we are going to break it down from the root of the problem. And we're talking about the James Harden situation, right? So we know Russell Westbrook just got traded. And I'm over here, like, last time we talked, we were like, okay, well, you know, Rockets aren't going to be a contending team, but they can be solid. John Wall, Boogie Cousins, Christian Wood. They still got the GOAT himself, Daniel House. But at the end of the day, I guess James Harden really don't want to be there, man.
I'm saying, bro, that's what I was saying before. Because, I mean, they have a nice little roster together, but if that heart's not into it, and when I say they, I'm talking about James, bro. If he's not into it, then, you know what I'm saying, he's the heart and soul of the team. Like,
He's doing – I've never seen somebody try to not play so bad. This is – so we should kick it off by starting it with first thing, before, training camp just started on – was it this Sunday, I believe? It was a few days ago. Doesn't matter when it started. But as soon as it started, before it started, Adam Silver rolled out a whole protocol, a whole 128-page memo, and said, hey, in the 128 pages, I ain't reading that shit, but in the 128 pages, it was clearly stated and said, hey, we are, I guess, banning in a sense that you guys cannot go to some of these strip clubs, these bars, these venues. You guys can go to certain approved restaurants and things of that nature, but they're really limiting a lot of their movement. And these are, $20 million assets, $40 million assets. I guess start off with that first. Do you think that's right? Like, to kind of tell your workers, in a sense, what they can and can do on their free time?
of course, it's right. I mean, they just had him in a bubble, pretty much like in jail for a period of time. So, I mean, at least they have their freedom. Like, there's gonna be restrictions regardless. Like, we're in a time right now where restrictions is like a common thing. So, don't act like a restriction is like the end all be all when that's like the case for pretty much everybody right now. There's gonna be some sort of restriction somewhere. Um, it's not stopping James though, as we can see.
It is not stopping James Harden at all. And that's the funny thing is, bro, like, as soon as they rolled this out, legit 8 hours later, all you see is James Harden in the club, just little baby next to him. Like, and let's talk about this, man. Let's kick it off with what I deem to be the root of the problem. He's my favorite artist right now, but I think the root of the problem is Little Baby. Am I lying?
I have a couple theories. You know what I'm saying? Lil Baby might be one of them. I think Meek is another one. I think just overall, maybe Harden got some bars somewhere because it seems like, you know what I'm saying, he kind of want to be a rapper or live that rapper lifestyle. And I'm not saying you can have friends or whatever, but it's kind of like he's getting lost in the sauce a little bit, forgetting about his job. You know what I'm saying? Like your job that you signed a contract for. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he already had it on the back burner once he said he wanted out of Houston. So, I mean, I don't know.
So, for just for understanding, have you ever seen the stat that shows how James Harden performs in the places with the best strip clubs?
Nah, I haven't seen that stat.
So there's a physical stat out there. I'm going to see if I can pull it up that has it lined up that James Harden's performance on the court significantly improves in the cities with the best strip clubs.
Houston, Atlanta, Vegas.
Bro, it's like, let me
So
see if I
why would he want to leave Houston then? It don't make sense.
we might be missing out on the best Harden basketball, right? Harden, let me see, strip club.
Yeah, that's bizarre to me. I mean, if that's what he needs to do, everybody recreates the way they recreate. So I mean, but like you said, there's protocols set in place, so you would expect everybody to follow the rules. I feel like he's just not in the mood to follow rules right now anyway. So
Okay,
the
so
4
I
p.m.
got,
rules, they're
yep.
not one of them.
All right, man. So right now I'm gonna share something on my screen. Just make sure you can let me know if you see it. We are about to get into the full breakdown of all the roots of the problems.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
So, can you see everything clear?
Yeah, I'm weak.
So there is a legit correlation, a regression line. You got MX plus B, you got a slope and everything.
That's sloping all that, bro.
Bro, so it's very clear the total of subpar performances per city with the average strip club rating. There's correlation, man.
There is correlation. I'm not gonna front.
There is a link to all my work. Why is that so funny? Like, this is what I do, bro.
This is hardcore research. Like,
Here's the
wow.
link. Let's see some of the facts. Okay, so hypothesis, a test, everything, bro. So first, I extracted all of James Harden game logs.
For the past 4 seasons, this man put in work, bro.
This is some Temple business stuff, man.
Nah, for real, for real.
A correlation coefficient. His box score is 20% predictable based on the quality of a city's strip clubs. His best performance comes in city with the worst strip clubs. So I actually lied. He performs better with cities with terrible strip clubs. So maybe that's why he
Oh, so
wants.
less distractions. Okay.
Yes. So Harden's worst performance comes in cities with the best strip clubs like Miami.
Mm.
Salt Lake City has the third ranked strip club of all NBA cities. Wow, that is a fun fact because I would think there's nothing in Utah. Wow. Okay. So that's one, right? So we got that data pulled up. Some more data for you. I don't know. Can you hear this? Can you hear that?
I can hear a little bit, yeah.
Okay. I wonder if I got to share the audio too. I don't think that.
Put that John up a little bit.
What happened?
I think he's got to put the volume up
Okay.
on the actual John.
Give me a Prada bag because he's proud of me. Full of honey bun.
A Prada bag because he's proud of him.
You know what I'm saying?
Right? You got to have the Richard Millie.
Man, shit, they got serious, man. You hear me, man? I want a brown with a honey bun and a honey bun. You got two rich in there? Two rich in one day, man. He's proud of you. Hey, he brought me a Prada bag because he's proud of me, man. He's proud of you.
This is my favorite part. They're gonna cut to James Harden. They're gonna cut to James Harden, and he's gonna be not getting a dap. James Harden, look at him. Look at him. Look at the handout. Just spent hella bread on Lil Baby. Can't even get a dap. And look at him going in his purse. Look at.
He's throwing up the foes like he 4 p.m.
So,
all right, the thing is, bro, the funny part about it.
Everything is funny about it.
Nah, everything is funny about it, but the funny part about it is, it's Baby's birthday. I understand all that, you know what I'm saying? But you really taking all the shine. His girlfriend Jada went out her way. You know what I'm saying? She's not no basketball player. She don't got no max contract to buy him no Richard Mille. She bought him a Richard Mille. Not only did James buy him a Richard Mille, bro, he bought him a Prada bag full of goodies, bro. Hundreds and hundreds of honey buns.
Honey buns,
A
bro.
honey bun. Like, come on, son. Nah, you can't do that. I know the
Well,
girlfriend was watching sick to his stomach,
do
but
you?
there's no way he did that.
They might be competing, man. And James Harden might be winning. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, he's definitely winning. He's definitely winning. There's no doubt about it. He
The
went
honey
crazy.
bun.
The
The thing is,
creativity, bro.
he sat down and he thought that one through, like thoroughly.
Thoroughly. He said, nah, I'm proud of him, so
I
I
gotta get him the Prada bag.
Now, what do I put in the bag? Like, you know what I'm saying? Gotta get crafty with it.
A whole
He
like.
went to Walmart and bought every honey bun in the store, bro. Every honey bun in the store. You know how many kids were sick that day, bro, going to Walmart and there was no honey buns left? Because this man, James Harden, bought all the honey buns.
Bro, the only thing I could think of, this was right before a training camp too. I know PJ Tucker's sick as hell when he went to that vending machine. He was like, "What's up with EH?" I know PJ Tucker was dying for a honey bun, bro. And then he looks over, he can't even ask James for it because James didn't attend for the day.
And my thing is, bro, like, I don't want to sound broke by saying, like, you doing too much or whatever. But it's really the thought behind all these gifts that's like, like, he really thought about this for a couple weeks. Like, this is what I'm going to do for this nigga's birthday. Like, that's type crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to judge. The whole thing is just hilarious. Like, you got to understand how it looks. And you cut the camera to James. He's over there looking in the cut like this.
Looking like that. And
paying him no mind.
He's going in his bag like, here, I can help you here. Like, it looks nasty, bro. It's a very nasty look. And I wonder if, you know, when he approaches, you know, Lil Baby's one of my favorite line for him is when I'm in Dior, they call me Mr. Baby. Incredible line. That's one of the biggest flexes I hear him saying. He got a bunch of those. I wonder if, you know, when James is speaking to this gentleman, does he include the little in front of the name or does he just drop it entirely?
Bro, if he's not calling him his full government name, he's calling him baby, bro, on the right. I'm letting you know right now. He's not calling him no little baby. He just dropped mad bread on this man for his birthday. Like, a Richard Mille, 100,000 in cash, and at least 100,000 worth of honey buns. At least.
Got a honey bun and a honey bun.
And then the Prada bag's not no joke either. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, there's layers to the gift is what's messed up. There's so many layers to it. It's like, damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you coordinate this with his girlfriend at least? Like, did you at least let her know what you were doing?
Get the approval, right? You got to know. If
yeah, bro, you can't go all that crazy. This is supposed to be like, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure she's the one who set this up for him or whatever. I don't know, man. It just looks crazy.
I don't know. Well, it doesn't stop there, bro. It really doesn't stop there because, like I said, Adam Silver rolled out this whole protocol thing. And then legit on camera, whether it was Lil Baby story or, you know, the people they was with, obviously somebody's going to post it on social media. And this time, you know, it wasn't the Jack Harlow, Lou Will exposing. It was the very blatant, that's James Harden. He's in the club. Hours before he has to show up for training camp, the first day, like the very first day, with a new team, new coach, new general manager, all these type of things.
Everything.
And he didn't show up initially, and then they were like, "Oh, he got an individual workout. He'll be here later." Didn't show up for that. Then they straight up said, "Yeah, I don't know where James Harden is."
It's looking bad, bro. It's looking bad because I could tell that the organization was kind of like expecting him in a way, because it's like, all right, we understand like you have your disagreements or you have your stance on whatever, but now it's time to work. Like I said, these guys are on contract. It's time to work. Like, I don't care what you got going on, but you're supposed to report to work no matter what's going on. Like, unless it's a specific occasion that like you can't make it, you know, emergencies or whatever. Like, I understand it was your baby's birthday, but like, you gotta work, bro. I don't know what to tell you. You gotta balance your time. And now it's looking crazy because they're putting out reports like, oh yeah, he didn't show up to this one. I know they didn't even mean what they said. They're just trying to cover up to make it not look so bad. Oh yeah, he missed his workout, but he's got an individual, John. That was their way of just telling him, like, bro, please, just, you know what I'm saying, save us a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You're making us look crazy. And he
So
still said, nah, I'm good. 4 PF, we're not one of them.
don't play with
Like,
them. Yeah, bro, that's the thing too. I didn't even think about that. You made a good point, man. Cause he might have hit up, coach, the new coach. I believe his name is Steven Sias. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He might have hit him up and say, "Yo, like, my fault. Like, I got baby's birthday coming up, so I had to skip." And Bull was probably thinking, "Oh crap, his child.
his child.
I get it." And then little does he know, he hops on Instagram and he's like, "Oh, we talking about a different baby, all right." But bro, it's looking bad. And not only that, like, we've seen we haven't actually. Like, this is the first time we've seen a player just like actively sit out, like, because they don't want to play. Like, we've seen the Kawhi situation, but that was a situation where he was like, I am hurt, and you guys don't think I'm hurt. Like, there's a miscommunication here. James Harden is fully healthy. He got the honey bun in the honey bun.
Mount honey buns.
And he's just not showing up. So, and not only that, bro, the whole not showing up for practice is one thing. The whole not doing that and then going out in the middle of a pandemic and putting, the league, is trying to get started. And you might be hindering that if you go ahead to a Rockets practice and now all 14 men can contract it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's actually kind of blatant disrespect when you think about it. Like, not only to the Rockets, but to the NBA, because the NBA employs you too, not just Houston. So it's like, I understand you probably disgruntled a little bit, but if it has anything to do with that, then you're handling it the wrong way. If he just feels like he's doing nothing wrong, like, hey, I'm James Harden, I'm just having a good time. I understand because, like, listen, a lot of guys think like that. They're professional athletes at the end of the day, and they live a certain type of lifestyle. So if he's just, you know what I'm saying, being a little ignorant to the externals that's going on in the world, then, like, it makes sense. Because, like, when you have all this bread, you know what I'm saying, and you're hanging out with all these rappers, a lot of this stuff, like, your perspective gets narrowed a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I really can't speak for him. He hasn't really said anything himself. He's just letting his actions pretty much speak for him. And it's saying a whole lot, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. And it's like, if I'm a team, a lot of teams are looking to see if they could trade for him because he wants out. But, like, I don't even know if I would want that.
It's a really bad look. And I get the idea of, you know what? I'm gonna prove to the team, as in the Rockets, I do not want to be here, by being, disrespectful, unattentive, things of that nature. And I get that idea.
I get it.
But you're also giving impressions to teams that, in theory, want you, that this guy's just being a straight douchebag. And what did the Rockets do to him? Is there, like, a story that we're missing somewhere? Because from my knowledge, all the Rockets did was try to bring him more and more talent. Like, it's not easy to get a star player. They were able to do that with CP3. They were then able to do that with Russell Westbrook. They were then able to do that with John Wall. It's not like James Harden does not have a star player to play with. Go ahead and do your damn thing if you're, a perennial talent, a generational talent, a all-star, a MVP. If you're MVP, you don't need another MVP to win. You just need a good, decent squad. And you have had that before, and you folded before. And it's the GM and the organization is doing their best to attend to you. Where are you going to go? You're going to go to a contending – he said today, and he finally showed up today, it seemed like. And even with that, like I said, you're showing up and you're not even following protocols, really, so you're not to be trusted. But anyways, he shows up today and said that he wants to be traded. He's open to a trade to any contending team. What? How many teams are going to be much better than the Houston Rockets?
Yeah.
You might be like legitimate teams, like, that aren't gonna. There's a few teams on paper, yes, that are better, but Houston Rockets is always that wild card factor.
So what do you think it really is, bro? Because I mean, they changed the coach, changed the GM, changed pieces within the team. What is it really?
The only thing I could really think of is he had a problem how it was ran before, and he's letting that kind of influence everything now. But like you said, bro, a new GM, a new coach, you're not dealing with D'Antoni anymore. You got a new point guard. You don't got to, if you had some type of beef with Westbrook, that's fine. He's gone. Your GM is gone. If you had a problem with him running the small ball, if you had a problem with your coach and the way he was playing you, he's gone too. Like, this is your chance to start fresh.
I also want to take the time out to apologize to Chris Paul because there was a time where I thought it was him. Like, I thought he was kind of cancerous in the locker room. I thought, you know what I'm saying, like, maybe he's kind of impossible to play with. But if I see the pattern, it looks like James is like it's impossible to play with him because it's like I don't get it. It's gonna be very interesting to see what he does with John Wall.
If he does
Very
anything.
interesting, but I just feel like no matter what happens, it's gonna be the same kind of outcome when it comes to James Harden in the playoffs. And that it's usually all on it falls on him. You know what I'm saying?
It's
He
his
usually
style,
doesn't
man.
perform. It's not like, all right, he's dropping 50 in the playoffs and they're losing and he's looking at the coach like, yo, what's going on? Like, no, you fold and then the team folds. That's what happens. When they
It's
played the Lakers, was he cooking us? No.
he was getting embarrassed. If you want to be real, there was no
Very.
way he should have been locked up the way he was locked up. And
It's routine at this point is what I'm saying, though. Every time in the playoffs, when it gets to a
it's
certain
been
point,
like that since he legit started his career. I don't know if you remember the 2012 finals, but
I
he
remember,
was a
bro.
ghost.
I
Yeah, we remember because we were Bron haters. We were rooting for
Exactly. We was rooting for them
the
bad.
I was dying for James Harden to
And
show
that
up.
was actually a very historic full job from Harden because it was actually pretty bad. Like it's not really talked about enough how much he really didn't show up at all initially.
Wow. It was in Miami.
Wow. Yo, that ball up to something, bro. I'm not gonna hold you.
It was in Miami.
And he played terrible.
Everything is just lining up, man. Everything is lining up. So listen, he said he wants to be traded to contenders. I don't, like I said, there's not a big list of contenders. What you on the Western Conference, you got Clippers, Lakers, I guess Warriors, and then what, Nuggets? Then the list ends there. That's
Yeah.
contenders. On the East side, you got Bucks, you got Sixers, Heat, Celtics, and Nets. The list ends there. That's a list of 9 teams. I don't know if any team really gets better with you on it. That's another thing. Maybe a team like the Nuggets possibly because they could use
Nah, I'd like to see him on the Sixers, if anything.
It's just I don't think the Sixers have a package for him. Like these contenders aren't going to have the package you're looking for. And like I said prior, you got years on your contracts. It's not up to you to make the decision on where you're going because you don't have that type of leverage you would if you only had a year left.
And that's the thing, bro. He's feeling himself way too much because he thinks that he controls everything in this moment right now. And I understand, bro. Like I love James Harden as a player. You know what I'm saying? He's a very historic offensive player. Like he changed the game with the way he gets to the basket and all this type of stuff. But no chips. Really kind of shrinks in the playoffs, and he kind of expects every team to just bow at his feet. So it's kind of weird because, like, all right, we understand you're a very talented player, but then there's 20 other talented players in the league who can get to 50 points, literally. You know what I'm saying? So, and hey, look, they had another historic player in Russell Westbrook that they just traded for Harden, pretty much. And Westbrook is reporting to the Wizards camp early, like he just got there, like.
That shows you something too. I'm not the biggest Russell Westbrook fan as a player, but I respect and I love his character of a person. He went to Washington, came there early, no problem. I see him, hyping up his
Smile on his face, bro.
smile on his face, everything, bro. Like at the end of the day, this is your job. You are a basketball player, and your circumstance in that basketball world cannot be that bad. It is not like you're out in the field, really doing the mud and really grinding like that in a sense where you're not getting paid your $43 million contract. You will be just fine, even if it's on the worst team in the world. Buckle up, do what you got to do. Dig yourself out of the dirt that you dug yourself into. That's the hole that you made for yourself. At the end of the day, your chemistry with CP3 and whatever beef you had, that got in the way of possibly winning a championship.
That was their best chance.
So he ruined that for himself. If CP3 would have stayed and they would have run it back and put some new pieces around them, who knows what could have happened, especially in the season that the Warriors dismantled. And there was a report that the Warriors were interested in Harden, and then they backed off. I don't know if it correlates with some of his antics, but this is something revolutionary that we're seeing. I can't wait to see how it plays off. Do you think he starts the season in a Rockets jersey? It's only 14 days at this point.
Christ, bro. I think so because, like, Houston, I'm pretty sure they're putting their foot down in a way that's like, listen, bro, like, I don't know what you want us to do. You're on contract. Like, they said it already got uncomfortable. I didn't think they was expecting to get this uncomfortable because now he's wilding. You know what I'm saying? Now it's getting to the point where I feel like he might miss games. Like, he might sit out. He might get an injury at some point. You know what I'm saying? It might get funny. Like, and that's the thing I don't like. At least show up and play the game because now, like, you're just affecting your legacy. Like, just, you know what I'm saying? Just show up, play the game, and try to get Houston the ring. Like, that's the least you can do. That's what I feel. Don't just stop playing the game because, you feel like you don't want to be in this team no more. Like, it's just very bizarre to me. I don't get it.
If I'm a Houston fan, Laker fans would have been lighting this guy up. If this was happening on the Lakers team, are you kidding me? We would have personally packed up your bag and said, you know what, if you don't want to be here, get the hell out of here. Like, this is ridiculous.
You think he got a rap career coming soon?
I don't know. Lil Baby's on too much of a run. If he derails it by any chance, whether it's hopping on a song with him or something, maybe Lil Baby could carry him. He could really carry whoever. I've been listening to the most knowest of knowest names just because they got a Lil Baby feature, and it's 400 an occasion now too. So
it's 400, bro. It's 400 an occasion. That's like crazy.
So it's getting interesting. I can't wait to see how it plays off, though. Once again, glad it's not happening over in the good side of Los Angeles. There are a little bit of things happening on that little bad side of Los Angeles. We seen the little last time we recorded. PG said his statement of, Doc didn't play me how I like to be played, and we weren't making adjustments. And Doc Rivers had a great response. Top 10. And he said, we all could have did better. That's one. The usual, everybody takes blame. And then he also said, he said your new coach was on the bench as well. He could have made adjustments.
Exactly.
So what is PG going to expect this year? I'm not too sure, but I love seeing PG just, bitch and moan.
I have a couple of things to say about Paul George, right? Because it's a very interesting character, this guy. In recent years, he was one of my favorite players in the league, and I'm not gonna sit here in front like I didn't want him on the Lakers badly. You know what I'm saying?
Hear that?
Now I'm clearly seeing that everything happens for a reason. I'm clearly seeing it. Because seeing the way everything is unfolding on the other side of the block, it's like, damn, bro. And it's like, it's the personality of some of these players that can really kill a whole squad. You know what I'm saying? And it can mess up the whole chemistry of everything because it's like, who wants to play with a player who takes no accountability? You know what I'm saying? It probably thinks too highly of themselves and doesn't really want to humble themselves at all. And especially in a humbling moment like losing the 3-1 lead, hitting the side of the backboard in Game 7.
He adjusted the rim, I could tell you that much.
I'm saying, though, bro, like, it would really make me respect him. I feel like a lot of people would respect him a lot more if he just said, hey, to be honest with you, I play like shit. It's not gonna happen this year. You know what I'm saying? But instead of saying, "Oh, they used me wrong," and hold all these pinned down screens like I'm Ray Allen, but at the end of the day, you know, there's people who does stats for a living. Like they do this stat shit. Like the guy who does the strip club, John. Like they look into this stuff like pretty thoroughly, and it came out that he doesn't even. It's not even true what he said. You know what I'm saying? That he doesn't even. So I just feel like he's just finding any way to take the pressure off of himself, which is cool. And this is why I don't really have any personal problems with Kawhi because he just be quiet, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? He
He
doesn't.
actually gave a solid response. Kawhi just simply said, he just said, we all could have played better. And that's why we lost.
Bro, simple as that. Y'all played like trash. You lost a 3-1 lead. At the end of the day, Doc is not out there shooting free throws and shooting 3-pointers for y'all.
Or defending, for that matter.
Or defending. If you're getting 11 points in a game, you're supposed to be the leading scorer, Paul George. I don't know what to tell you. That's not Doc's problem. Get to the basket. What?
Especially, bro, it's playoff basketball. So much of it is ISOs. Like, there is just, bro, get the rock and do something with it.
I seen it for myself, bro. I was watching the games. Paul George was cold. He was cold. Everybody saw it.
Bro, at the end of the day, when it comes to that Clippers series, especially with Paul George, he's in his head and he's trying to paint a narrative, but there's really no narrative you can paint when the proof and the actual the thing you're trying to paint is on footage, bro. Like
everybody's seen it.
It's not like it was it happened behind closed doors. This is what really happened. I was treated this way, bro. It was for the world to see on a broadcasted public channel like that everybody has. Like you couldn't avoid it.
It's funny because that's the stuff that we've seen, but I feel like there's a whole lot of stuff that we haven't seen that kind of sours the locker room a little bit when it comes to Paul George. Because when I hear some reports like after their Game 7 loss, he's in the locker room talking about, "Oh, come on, guys, let's run it back next year." Everybody's like, "This nigga." You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just like, "This guy." You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's. Montrez is like, "Yeah, I'm in Lakers.
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here, bro." So it's like I feel like there's other stuff within the organization, within the team that like PG was just, I don't know, just acting crazy. And I heard it was like a lot of just feeling himself, just the star treatment shit that him and Kawhi was getting.
Yeah,
a lot of them people didn't like. So I mean, it is what it is, man.
It's gonna be, like I've been saying, a fun year, and I just hope that they do their job this year. That's it. I think we all expected the Clippers to win that series, and what I do like, because all this content and all these stories have been coming out, there's been more stories, and there's been more content coming out with LeBron James. And I don't know if you got to see the full thing yet, but the Road Tripping podcast, did you get to watch any of it?
Like the first half, I don't see a second half.
The first half? Yeah. The second part just dropped today.
Yeah.
In the second part, though, he talks about his reaction to the Clippers. And first things first, I want to talk about, and then this is probably a final topic for the day, just LeBron James. I guess this is something I don't think about a lot, especially with him because he goes into that zero dark 30 mode. And, it's probably more for show than anything else in all reality. But he sees everything, man. Like sometimes I feel like these ball players don't be hearing what Skip Bayless is and what the reports be showing and how Twitter be roasting them and whatnot. But what I've really been noticing, not only about LeBron James, but about all these players, is they really see everything. LeBron James was like going over some like topics during that road tripping thing where he was pulling up, not necessarily like mental receipts of all the narratives they were painting. And I was like, wow, the fact that he knows some of that I just, I was on Twitter getting into that. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, how could you not, bro? Because if you think about it, if it was you and people was making you such a topic, you're not going to tune in to see what they're talking about? Like, I would. I know I would. If I was LeBron James, I want to hear what everybody's saying. Like, what's the word? Because I know what I'm doing on the court, but you got to pay attention to the narratives because you can't be clueless about yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I know because LeBron, he's already like a social media guy and all that type of stuff already. So I know he pays attention to everything. It just makes sense.
Yeah, and that's really what this showed me. He paid attention to everything. It had me thinking like,
Bro, he
damn.
was on a Wash King tour.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Bro, there's no way he doesn't see all the bull crap that Skip Bayless be doing.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely has to. I really hope after his career ends, like in that final, either in the final year, right after the career ends, he does one interview with Skip Bayless, and just like
I see it happening.
I want to see, and I really think that would be like some of the most legendary shit ever.
Nah, I probably
I
would.
want to see if Skip Bayless like ends up being like, you know what, man, at the end of the interview, you know what, man, you're not too bad. You might be the GOAT. Like, you know what I mean?
Nah, Skip would never say that.
I don't know. I want to see if Skip it folds under the actual heat of pressure that LeBron James could apply. But anyways, so he discussed the whole Clippers thing, and he said it like he was like we, as well as everybody else, think that we were going to face the Clippers in the finals. He said that's what the media and the NBA, it seemed like, was doing. He said that's why, he thought that's why they played them, opening day and Christmas Day and the first back of the bubble day. He was like, I thought in reality, like, Clippers were going to meet us. And as soon as they were up 3-1, we were gearing up, and then we just saw him fold. And he said he FaceTimed Richard Jefferson, who was on the Road Trip podcast, and he just like stood there and was like in disarray. He was just like after they lost, bro, because he couldn't believe it. And it felt so good to know that LeBron James really just not was celebrating, but he was just like as much in shock as the rest of the world, like a professional basketball player. Because as soon as it happened, bro, as they asked him, and he was like, "Oh well, we weren't really preparing for nobody particularly. We were waiting to see how his series plays out." And he was able to take that little facade media gimmick off, and really, when he was
Keep it a
around his
bean.
friends, he kept it a bean. He was like, "Man, we weren't taking the Nuggets serious."
Mm-hmm.
He legit said we found out the Nuggets were a good team when we faced them, but we thought we were facing the Clippers.
Yeah, I mean, like he said, bro, like you said just now, everybody probably would have expected that just from the way the media presented it to us, and just everybody from ESPN to NBA, everybody just made it seem like Clippers was pretty much the favorite, and we was gonna have to see them to get to the finals. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't the Clippers had to see us; it was we had to see the Clippers. So I'm pretty sure every Lakers player had that in the back of their head, like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? The Clippers, a lot of disrespect on the Lakers name because they think the Clippers is the one. So, I mean, I would have loved to see them, bro. But, damn, that was so surprising. I'm not going to hold you.
I love it, man. I love seeing LeBron. Like, this whole little LeBron media run he's been on, it's been getting my respect level up for him just a bit more, bro. And then it was that. And then a few other things he covered that I want to talk about is he mentioned that this, along with his 3-1 comeback against Warriors, was his hardest ring. Do you buy into the bubble ring being more difficult than other rings, or?
Most definitely, bro, because the parts that I did listen to it, he was pretty much describing, like, just how different the bubble experience was. No fans, no home court advantage when, you played the whole season to get that advantage. It's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? We was number one in the West and no advantage in the playoffs. So, like, that definitely sucks. And I think that's why a lot of teams was able to make certain showouts, like the Thunder, Houston going to Game 7, Nuggets, Clippers going to Game 7. There was no home court advantage for Houston, for Clippers, or for the Lakers. And it showed, like, a lot of the competition pretty much leveled out. But, the Lakers were a little more prepared, thank God, and we never saw a Game 7.
One of the valid points Braun brought up was he said, like, when he was facing the Warriors, if he was down 3-1 and it was Game 5 against the Warriors, they had Game 5 in Cleveland. He said if he had to play that game with no fans, they would have got smoked by 100. They wouldn't have won. So I didn't even look at it like that. Like, obviously, I always took the fans a little bit into consideration, but I'm also always just thought about the fact that you don't have a real life, like you're 100
The
days.
energy is different.
It was 94 days in a hotel room. Like you're not out and about. You don't get your own schedule and your own regimen as far as what to eat, as far as how you want to work out, as far as, how you want to spend your off days. Like you had to spend it how they wanted you to, how Disney organized it for you. So, I can't be the judge of what was the hardest, what was not. But I feel like anybody discrediting the ring, and obviously we're Laker fans, we're not going to discredit that ring at all. But I think you'll be damn foolish, especially because everybody was in the same ballpark, literally.
Yeah, my thing is, bro, if it wasn't the Lakers who won, then they would have given all the credit in the world to whoever won. You know what I'm saying? If it was the Bucks, if it was the Clippers who won the championship, it probably would have been one of the most historic championships of all time. Oh, but they went through the bubble and, you know what I'm saying, all the challenges and obstacles they had to face. But it's the Lakers with LeBron James, so it's just like,
Yeah.
it's what it is.
And if it was easy for the Lakers, it should have been easy for your team too. Okay. Last comment I want to get into that he spoke about was the Kyrie Irving comment, where Kyrie went on his own little press run too, even though that's another thing. How do you feel about Kyrie doing like a media blackout? Do you have any feelings for that, or whatever gets the job done for you?
I mean, it doesn't really bother me. Everybody can say whatever they want to say. Kyrie's always been like a type of vocal type of athlete. Like he expresses his mind a lot, and I feel like it gets taken out of context because he did play with LeBron James. I feel like if he played with anybody else, the whole narrative on Kyrie would have been completely different. You know what I'm saying? If he played with KD to start off with or whatever, then it's just a different story. If you play with LeBron James and stuff doesn't work out, they're gonna look at you. That's just how it works.
I like a lot of I like Kyrie as a person. I'm still not the biggest fan of him as a player. I don't think he's just, there's some things where I don't trust Kyrie and I don't like him as much.
He got LeBron a ring though. You can't act like he's not legendary. And
no, absolutely. That's one of the best shots of all time. That's one of the legit staple shots of all time.
shots and performances. He was dropping 40 and all that in those series.
I know. Yeah. Kyrie's a killer. I just don't see him in the same light that a lot of other people do. I feel like just people our generation, they fall in love with like his handles and things like that. And I just don't see him as like an MVP caliber player that some people rank.
I thought he was better than Curry.
Do you think that now though?
Yes.
Really?
I just look at Kyrie different. I see him as like crafted in the likes of like Kobe, bro. He has a different type of skill set. There's almost no stopping this guy. This man on his opening night in Brooklyn pulled out a street ball move for the win and almost knocked, bro. If he would have knocked that down, and he had 50 that night too. Like, yeah. This is type of stuff I'm talking about. Like, he plays around with people. Like
he's just not a. That's the thing. People look at him like that. People look at him like he's better than Curry, but he's not an MVP. He's not that MVP level talent. He's not an MVP level leader.
I think they're just looking at the personalities at this point.
I don't know. If he was to win a chip, and lead a team, then by all means, just prove me wrong.
But he did.
He didn't lead the team, but whatever. I
don't know why you say that. It's just literally because the guy's name was LeBron James. But
okay, so this is what the comment went into. He basically said, Kyrie said that he's glad he can finally play with somebody that is gonna take and make the clutch shot.
And I could tell you why he's saying that, bro. It's because it's the same reason why he left the Cavaliers and said nobody wants to play with LeBron James, because anything that you do, the credit is gonna go to LeBron. Anything that you mess up with, it's gonna be highlighted on you, like, oh, you messed up LeBron's chances, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? It's really a lose-lose, because he really should have got a lot more credit than he's getting right now for that championship, in my opinion. But I feel like a lot of people probably feel like that. And I know he definitely feels like that because he did a lot, right? And then after that, when the story is LeBron brought the championship to Akron or to Ohio, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
then Kyrie's like, yo, like I guess I was here for nothing. And I can't blame him for feeling like, you know what? Let me go to this team and do it myself and see what the NBA has to say about that.
I got no response to that. That was a pretty good cleanup. See, the thing with me with Kyrie is I stand for a lot of the same things he be standing for, and I agree with most of the things he be saying. He just don't communicate it right a lot of the times.
I disagree, bro. I think he speaks very well for himself. When you go up against the NBA like conglomerate, it's very difficult to get anything across. The NBA was convincing people that Kobe was washed around year 16, 17, and that he was like 90th best player in the league. You know what I'm saying?
That was the ESPN stupid list. We could talk
But
about.
I'm saying though, like these are narratives that get pushed, and the NBA and these analysts help push. You know what I'm saying? And when it's against you, people just don't like Kyrie because he has a voice against it. He's gonna be like, nah, I don't feel that way. And it's going against the grain because it's like, oh, you're speaking against LeBron James or whatever, right? But he doesn't look at LeBron James as God. He probably doesn't even think LeBron James is the best in the NBA. Like a lot of people don't think so. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally just him with his own mentality and then the NBA's narrative are clashing. He's saying, oh, I'm with Kevin Durant. He's basically saying Kevin Durant, he's the real GOAT. He's the real best player in the NBA right now. I'm glad I'm playing with him. And he might be saying it out of spite, but it's coming from a place of a little resentment and bitterness from what he went through with LeBron. Do I think he does not care for LeBron and any type of brotherhood? But no, I think they have a certain type of brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? It's probably like a little soured because of media and all this stuff going on, but it's just basketball at the end of the day. I think he just has his own voice, and he's gonna express that. The same way LeBron's gonna express his opinion. LeBron obviously thinks he's the best, and Kyrie, I don't think Kyrie believes that. I think that's fine.
I mean, LeBron's response to the comment was, that he did feel some type of way, and like he thought maybe it was taken out of context because he knows how the media game could run. But so he waited till he heard everything in context, and he felt some type of way because he said that he didn't like he was the person that looked out for Kyrie the whole run during Cleveland. He was the person that believed in Kyrie from the jump during Cleveland. He wanted to go to Cleveland because of Kyrie, and obviously I think it might just come down to what you're saying, that it's really just a whole media game that Kyrie is fighting against, and
Now,
Ron kind of got caught in the crossfire.
right. But do you think that Kyrie ever looked to LeBron like, yo, you ever gonna speak up for me?
I can't. Did LeBron not do that in Cleveland? LeBron didn't give Kyrie his flowers?
Has he? You're asking like we don't know.
I didn't follow Cleveland media like I follow Lakers media, so I don't know. But I know LeBron won the championship now, and he said, "Y'all got to give Rob his respect, Anthony Davis his respect, Jeannie her respect, the Lakers organization their respect."
I do think that LeBron has a certain type of thing with AD that he didn't have with Kyrie.
Definitely, he's definitely a lot closer to Bull, and he was definitely closer to Wade and Bosh.
And also, LeBron is on some stuff where he's telling AD, "This is your team. I'm putting a spotlight on you, blah blah." And I'm sure Kyrie's probably like, "Yo, where the hell is all that shit?"
Kyrie might really just be like the brother that didn't get the brotherly treatment, and like.
That's what I'm feeling. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he takes anything too personally, but I think that he's just speaking up for himself and saying, listen, I'm a big dog. This is what I did. And, you know what I'm saying? Even though he wanted to take all the shine for that, that's not the case. I was the one hitting the clutch shots. I was the one doing this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I understand where he's coming from. He's just trying to big up his chest a little bit. Like, listen, like, you know what I'm saying? I can do this too. KD does this too. And LeBron's not the only person in the league that's running stuff. I get it.
Okay. Yeah. So my final question is, if LeBron was to show up to Kyrie's birthday party with a honey bun and a Prada bag because he's proud of him, and a Richard
Honestly, bro,
does that make everything better?
Everything. Bro, if you showed up with the Prada bag because he's proud of him, bro.
Is that all Kyrie needed?
That's all Kyrie needs, bro. All Kyrie needs is little James Harden love. That's all.
Maybe that's why they want him in the Brooklyn Nets, bro. They need a hype man.
Yes, it makes perfect sense, bro.
Everything is correlating, bro.
Everything.
This
Everything.
is lining up so perfectly. We're gearing up for a great season, man. We're days away at this point. We got a preseason game on Friday, Matt. A preseason game on Friday.
Unbelievable.
It is reported that LeBron and AD are most likely not going to play for the first one.
I hope not. I mean, that's cool. I'm cool not seeing him play. I kind of want to see McKinney. I kind of want to see
McKinney hasn't.
THT.
I think McKinney got hit with the COVID, bro. He hasn't practiced yet. He hasn't showed up.
I did see that.
Him and QC is the only one that hasn't showed up. QC only hasn't showed up because I guess once they sign, they got to reach a certain days of positive test. But so Quinn Cook hasn't showed up. At least I think that's the reason. They're not trying to disclaim whether the person's out for COVID or not for obviously medical reasons. Mm-hmm. But it seems like McKinney got hit with COVID. But I'm excited to see the THTs of the world. I'm excited to see if Kuz can put it together. And ultimately, bro, I can't wait to see Dennis Schroeder in that jersey. I can't wait to see Montrezl eat up. The more I see Marc Gasol footage, I'm getting a little more excited for it. He just looks like a Gasol in a Lakers jersey, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean?
Honestly, bro, I'm excited, bro. This is it's crazy, bro. We really here with it. Like, it's the season now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
The shortest off season is officially over, and I'm sure very, very soon we'll be covering that. We'll actually be covering a video next time. The next time you'll see us, we'll be covering some of the unanswered questions going into the 2020-2021 season. That is going to be a fun one. It is going to be some real analytic deep dive and telling you James Harden performances in this state and whatnot. But we'll also talk about some very fun topics that I can't wait to get into. So with that being said, is that everything on your agenda today, Matt, for this one?
Pretty much, man. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot out in the air. I just wanted to say, I'm proud of you. I don't got a powder bag though, and I might be able to get you one honey bun, but I can't get you 100 of those. And Rich and Millie's is off the table. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would assume, but yeah, after you finish your semester, bro, Prada bag might be on the way.
Might be on the way.
It might be on the way. It might be on the way. But yeah, man. With that being said, guys, we got a honey bun and a honey bun. But we'll catch you next time. And if I don't see you, have a good afternoon, good evening. And if you're James Harden, I already know you're going to have a good night. We out.
Oh.
Gonna come. Hope I'm ready when she do. All the good that way too young. Hope I ain't good enough for you. If I ever get caught up, hope it ain't shit left I could prove. Cause I'm only 21, ain't got shit left I could